I was shocked by this story out of Los Angeles. Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon has pretty much confirmed this week that the Department of Justice is cracking down on the Los Angeles school district because they are apparently using race to allocate school funding. And apparently, if a location is 30% or more white in a school, they get less money. Have a look.
It's not fair or legal to discriminate against any citizen in our country for government benefits on the basis of their race, whatever that race is. So this is the biggest, if not one of the biggest school districts in the United States. And this is, millions of students there. So this is big stuff, and we're going to take it very seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's right, because anybody who's spent time in America knows you can encounter plenty of poor white people and plenty of very well-off Black people and people of color. What do you think of this? I mean, this is a good move to attack this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, nothing really surprises me anymore, especially stuff coming out of California. It's a matter of, thinking about it from a perspective of, is this something that a race communist would do?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's been infiltrated in their school system. They have race communists that are within them. They think that to fight discrimination, you have to commit more discrimination. It's counter to the lessons that we all learned. I'll speak for myself as a 41-year-old man. The lessons that I learned when I was a kid growing up, that you treat people like you want to be treated, and that we should have a relatively colorblind society as far as how we treat people, right? But acknowledging that, yes, there are some cultural differences. Yes, I look different than you. All of those things are superficial and don't matter as much as the core of the individual. But what race Marxists do is determine what people are based off of how they happen to be born. They are the very thing that they claim to be fighting against. So I think it's great that the Trump administration is continually taking this whole situation seriously, going after race Marxists within our education system.
Adam, I'm so glad that you used that term, racial communism, racial Marxism. I think we're going to hear a lot more about that in the next couple of years. But speaking of people who might be considered race communists and things that surprise or not being surprised anymore, well, I was a bit surprised that a little while ago, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani met with President Trump at the White House for what was said to be an unscheduled visit to talk about housing issues and immigration. What do you make of this weird sort of bromance that seems to be developing here, between Zohran Mamdani and Donald Trump? I mean, the only thing I can sort of say is that they're both great showmen, but that's probably where the similarities end.
One thing that people don't take, I think when it comes to Donald Trump, they don't realize about him is that he is the schmoozing president. The man walked into North Korea and sat down with a guy that we were supposed to completely, disconnect from, right? Because there's not a single person, whether that person hates him or not, that he will not sit down with and actually talk to. So he's actually much more of a schmoozer than people realize, which is why before he was running for office, everyone loved him. Even the Clintons loved him. So that's why they invited him to their daughter's wedding. So I think it's very important that people realize that's his essence. There are lots of people who don't like him, and he'll actually still meet up with them and talk to them. So yeah, he's a schmoozing guy. He actually wants to have relationships with people, even if they don't like him, even if they don't agree with him. And he'll even talk out of both sides of his mouth. You might call him I think the guy's a communist in one moment, but in the next moment, he's willing to work out a deal with them. He's done the same thing with Gavin Newsom. He's called him all types of insults, but at the same time, he'll call the governor to try to work something out to figure out how the federal government can help. So that's who he is. That's who he's always been.
And Adam, as the old saying goes, game recognizes game. Adam B. Coleman, thank you so much for your time as always. Always thrilled to chat with you here on the U.S. Report.